Welcome to the first episode of the season of Grid Iron Guyz. I am your host, as always, Lucas, and with me for another season is Dayton.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. We took a little bit of a hiatus.
It was kind of mandatory, though.
Yeah, we needed a return to get the juices going again because we
there's been a lot going on.
Yeah, a ton going on.
So I mean, we won't even be able to cover any close to 1% of what like all the topics that have happened since the last Super Bowl episode.
Yeah.
I mean, just like league related, sports related.
Yeah,
we'll get into everything that's kind of relevant like right now.
So do you want to start with the hometown team?
The hometown team, the Skurs.
The Scars. So during our off break, we got some news that Bill Moose was stepping down due to health concerns.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
That's what I've been told.
I thought he was just looking forward to retirement
or retiring or whatever. However you want to say it.
Yep.
So everybody was up in arms. That was kind of a sudden thing. So that was kind of concerning.
Quick question though.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anything deeper there?
No. Like, I mean, one thing that I would think
relationship goes south, like with the boosters or anything, or like.
Well, I would think. Well, remember he said that he wanted to put booze in the stadium, and then he had to retract his statement like 2 years ago.
I didn't see that, but
yeah.
Dude, more power to him. I
think Alberts
back that decision.
I think Alberts might do it if Osborne isn't alive anymore. He's the one
that's
reason
kind of
why.
The only way, yeah.
Well, and once Osborne's gone, they'll pass betting in Nebraska to where you can bet on the Huskers in the state of Nebraska.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of. I love the dude.
I do. I
success
admire
story
the hell
from
out
Nebraska,
of him.
but he just is kind of a fun sucker. And
he is. He's an old gook. Yeah. I love him, but
yeah, he's kind of holding back. Yeah, the whole gambling thing, the booze
which will
thing.
make millions, and it will keep Nebraskans in Nebraska instead of spending their freaking money out
over
east
in Iowa,
in Council Tucky.
Seriously. I'm guilty. I just did 2 weeks ago.
What'd you bet on?
Well, I went there to make a bet on the College World Series.
Oh, yeah.
For the overall series to have Mississippi State win, but they only had game 1 on the book. So I just didn't make a bet and then just blew all my money at the tables.
Yeah. CWS happened. Mississippi State won. That's their first ever national championship in any sport.
Which is surprising because
they've had some pretty good football teams.
Yeah.
They're always pretty decent in baseball. So that was kind of cool to see.
Even between bowling and.
Oh yeah, that was their first ever championship in any sport.
Women's golf.
In any sport.
I think didn't Mississippi State win
in any sport?
No, didn't they win the let them play?
They didn't win that.
They didn't.
Pretty sure Arizona did.
Oh, okay. I think their coach was the one that helped.
And this is why we had to take a break. We're
sorry, we're already talking golf this early back into the resumption of this podcast, but
which we'll get into later.
Yeah, we can talk on golf. There's not really much yet to talk about, but where were we? Oh yeah, Trev Alberts.
Yeah.
So he was the AD at UNO.
Yes, so he was the AD at University of Nebraska Omaha. For those that don't live in Nebraska, he's very controversial around the state because he got rid of football at UNO and wrestling abruptly. But here's my take: anybody in Nebraska, any Nebraskan will tell you, don't have a wedding in the fall on a Saturday because it ain't your day. It's the Huskers' day. So
for the most part,
taking that mindset and putting that towards a college football program that he was thinking of moving to D1, there's no way you're going to compete with Nebraska financially. You're going to lose money. So
Right.
financially, it made sense to get rid of the football
Yeah.
program.
Everyone's parents is going to be in the stand live streaming the Husker game
Yeah.
as
So
their son's playing football.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
I mean, I went to Wayne State for a semester, which is a small college in Nebraska. Even then, they wouldn't have huge crowds because they play at the same time as the Huskers.
Right.
So it's counterproductive. It just sucks for the smaller schools because Nebraska is that's all we have is college football.
And it kind of pushes out it's not necessarily competition, but in terms of viewership it is. I mean, playing level obviously not, but like that's the unfortunate thing is like it's such a big deal around here that's what people are going to diverge their time and energy to on Saturday.
Time, energy, and money.
And money. That's a big one too. So
and
plus didn't have that wasn't his sole reasoning for getting behind cutting the football program. There's also Title IX equaling out. I think that was also around the time that was being finalized for legislation or whatever.
I think
so. They had to have equal number of athletes,
and they weren't.
male and female.
I mean that soccer field wasn't in the books then, too, for Omaha. Right, they didn't have a turf field, I don't think, from what I remember.
Okay.
It's been 12 years since they've had football, so.
Right, but so yeah, he got rid of football, but he really built up hockey.
He really built up Well,
they got their own arena.
Always been really good at hockey.
Okay.
So he built up the basketball program and the baseball program for sure. Yep. And they've done pretty good in the women's athletics as well. But basketball in particular have done really well in the Summit Valley, or are they in the Missouri Valley, or are they in the Summit League? I think they're in the Summit League.
Yeah, because they play like USD.
Yeah, they play USD, SDSU, NDSU. So and they made the tournament one year.
They did.
Yeah, as D1. So there's been good things. So the funny part about it was Sean Callahan goes, press conference at 11. They're gonna announce the new AD. Then right underneath the tweet is the official Nebraska Twitter account saying, "Hey, Trev Alberts is going to be the next AD." I was like, God, that's a kick in the dick for Sean Callahan.
Why'd they do that to him? Did they already announce it? I don't know.
I think they were trying to be discreet about it at one time, but then the word got out and they had to get in front of it.
Sure, but didn't Nebraska have a press conference with Trev Alberts?
No, yeah, they did. They weren't planning on telling anybody until they announced it at the press conference, but it got leaked.
Okay.
So, a little bit about Trev Alberts. Played for the 90, played 90, for Nebraska from 91? 90, 91, 92, 90. No, because he won a national title. So he was on that 94 and 95 team.
Oh, okay.
He was on both those national championship teams.
Okay.
Was there in 96. No, wasn't there in 96 because Frost played in 96 and 97. And when he was talking, he's like, we missed playing together by a year or so. So, here's the thing. He's coming into a great situation from the athletic department standpoint. Baseball, really moving in the right direction. Basketball, really moving in the right direction. Football, there's possibilities.
Yeah.
They're all set up really, really well.
You're talking about here at Nebraska already?
What?
You talking about already here in Nebraska? Oh,
yeah. Particularly.
No, I mean he's coming into this job. I was just talking about this with Yanni last night. Right now, he's kind of got it made for himself. He's coming into a pretty cushiony job.
Yeah, he has to really fuck it up to really...
Right. Pretty much, it would be pretty hard to fuck what is going on in Nebraska.
Moose did a phenomenal job.
Yeah,
and so did the interim, which Gary Classy, I think is his name.
There was an interim.
He's done a great job with the NIL, and we will get into that and how that's going to benefit. But he has done an amazing job, and they'd be dumb to let him go because the guy is smart. He's really, really in on this whole thing, and it's going to be great for Nebraska. So
I'm
I just
excited.
don't understand why people are so. We should like everybody's like we need to get back to the '90s, and then people like my dad goes, we should really get away from the '90s, which is surprising to hear him say that because he's usually the opposite way.
Yeah.
I'm all gun ho for this. The guy has won a national title, has won 2 national titles, been part of the most historic program in college football history, and been on one most dominant teams to ever be assembled in college football.
94?
No, 95.
That's what they
season of 94 and 95 national championship team.
Oh,
yes.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, I couldn't be more happy. I think he's got experience as being in a Division I AD. He knows the state. He knows how important Husker athletics is to the entire state.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a win-win situation for me. And I don't understand why people are so fucking pissed off.
I don't see how people can get like that opinionated.
Yeah. And then
it's a pretty
you can't win if you're a Husker fan.
What's that?
You can't win. They either love it or they fucking hate it.
Well, it's an
There's
AD.
no in between.
It's an AD. It's just like they don't really. I mean
he
call
sets
some
the
shots,
schedule.
But
he sets the schedules, coaching hirings.
I guess, but
like,
yeah, I mean it's all administrative stuff. So like
it's all about making money and being able to get boosters to fork up money for facilities, which Moose did a hell of a job in his 4 years being here.
Right,
hence they're building that new facility for all of the athletics.
Right. How much is that building?
I want to say 30 mil.
30 mil, 50 mil.
I want to say 30 mil.
Yeah, dude.
They fundraised the fuck out of that, dude.
I mean, it's easy as a with Husker fans. Like, I don't know. Which is maybe we ought to use this as like a segue into NIL, which is
which
is why I think Nebraska has a competitive edge in this NIL atmosphere.
So this is what I'm going to compare it to. So back in the 80s and 90s, nobody was really doing the whole weight lift program, like strength and conditioning stuff. And that's what Nebraska did in the 90s to be so dominant. They were ahead of the game.
And back then there wasn't really like that many people like using steroids that much either. And Nebraska
was
got ahead of the game on that too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So, I mean, just watch Jason Peters' video. I mean, the 90s program, probably one of the most controversial, hence why 30 for 30 ESPN hasn't done a 30 for 30 on those national championship teams.
Because Tom Osborne's still alive.
Well, that and
so like that'd be pretty detrimental to his whole I'm a God praising Christian, like no drugs or alcohol, fun, gambling.
Well, yeah, that's no, dude.
What?
They were doing. Have you not heard the stories of those teams?
Oh yeah, I think we've discussed it in depth.
I mean, fuck Lawrence Phillips for one example, threw Scott Frost down a fucking flight of stairs after catching him banging his girlfriend.
Right. Yeah.
Crazy. I mean, Jason Peters was doing lines of cocaine before the game.
Yeah, but they already made the U, so you can't really top. If you can't really top that.
If you don't do the 95 team with Brooke Behringer playing 3/4 of the year, almost the entire year, because Tommy Frazier had a blood clot in his leg.
Yeah.
And they win the national championship that year to give Tom his first one.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
But anyway,
we'll get it eventually.
Now NIL.
We'll get it eventually.
That's where the competitive advantage is. Nebraska was in the forefront of this. And this is 2 years in the making that they have been preparing for this.
Like as a school?
No, yeah, as a university.
Honestly, maybe even longer.
So, like you see these guys making deals, right? And they're not really all that big, to be honest.
No, not yet.
I mean, besides Derek King signing a $30,000 endorsement deal with Miami or whatever that is.
It's still pretty
It's pretty
Small
reasonable.
numbers. I
But
think that's
here's the
just because
thing.
we're so used to these pro
Well,
numbers
and here's the
that
other
we've gotten
thing.
desensitized to like money. But to these kids, like this is a shit ton of money.
Yeah,
This is money that when they went in high school to plan on playing college football, this is miles more money than they ever thought that they would see from playing collegiate sports. So
yeah,
it is quite a bit of money. I mean, we're used to like 6 zeros, 7 zeros after these contracts, but like to these college kids, that's a decent amount of money.
yeah. And I mean, and some of these guys, I mean, you're gonna have issues pop up with the NIL. It's like the wild, wild west.
Right
You
now,
can sign anything; it does not matter.
besides drugs, alcohol,
Yeah,
booze, gambling. I think
yeah,
that's the only one rule.
yeah. Which is
Which
kind of
even
funny
then,
how
who's going to
how how
enforce it?
Barstool is getting away with doing Barstool athletes because
Well, they're a
their
media
main
company,
revenue they're a media company, but their
a merchandise.
major their major corporation now is sports gambling. They got
Yeah,
bought out by Penn, so like they're a
technically,
sports gambling
technically they're a subsidiary of Penn National Gaming.
national.
So
Yeah,
that's when it starts to get a little
that gets dicey.
it does get it is dicey, but I mean there's just such lack of regulation like
Yeah,
wild wild west that I mean it's just tough to tell like what's good and what's not. Like
yeah,
they're
absolutely.
signing like thousands of athletes. What are they
One,
gonna do with them? I don't know, but
and
they're
here's the
gonna do
other thing,
something.
dude. So this is where Nebraska is going to dominate, and this is where recruiting comes in. This is the recruiting pitch that I had before. You're the only show in town. Now with the NIL,
Now,
you are the only especially like because football is going to be the biggest thing. We could get 5-star recruits. We can
yeah,
set you up. We can set you up with building your social media following,
yeah.
which is absolutely freaking bonkers.
Right. So exactly, and that's exactly. So I'll name drop right now. Um, my roommate Yanni, we've talked about him. He works for Open Doors, ahead
Yep.
of the game on this
Yep.
NIL stuff.
Oh, they were in the game
They've
for
so
longer than
yeah,
that.
their CEO Adi, he started Open Doors. I don't know. I don't even know how many.
Well,
Maybe like 5
Lawrence was part of it
He's the
first.
other one too.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know who started it, but yeah, I'm sure you saw they're gonna do a podcast with
With
Bus.
Busting with the Boys. Yeah.
So I'm excited to hear about that one. Shout them out. But yeah, no, Nebraska. It started here. They're at the forefront, kind of like the biggest company right now in terms of name, image, likeness.
Yeah.
With like setting up deals. Like I don't think the next competitor even comes close with infrastructure, data, and overall clients. So
I mean,
Nebraska's got it figured out.
Nebraska's got it figured out. And this is the biggest recruiting tool that all of our sports. We're getting guys, have you seen the transfer portal for just all sports?
No.
Nebraska got a point guard in the transfer portal from Arizona State, averaged 15 points a game.
Is that a lot?
That's pretty damn good.
Okay. I was like, you're blank face. I was like, I mean, that's consistent, I guess. I don't. That's good. That's good. What? I mean,
Better
okay,
than
in college,
good.
I guess in college basketball they only score like 80 points. So
Yeah.
So there we go. Well, what else does he have? 15 points.
I mean, we've gotten Welcher from Xavier. We got a Providence kid. We've got the McGowans who started a podcast.
A lot of podcasts, a lot of ad deals.
Yeah.
Adrian Martinez getting those deals. Lexi Sun.
Yes.
Got her own company going.
I mean, just if you're a 5-star recruit, I mean, when we start winning, especially in football, Nebraska is going to be a school that people actually take serious again.
I hope so.
Because the name, image, and likeness is going to be the top program in the country. I'm telling you this right now. We are going to be better than Ohio State. We're going to be better than Oklahoma. We're going to be better than, I'm not saying football, but I'm saying the NIL.
Okay.
The NIL program.
Yes.
I mean, eventually, hopefully, we're better than all of those teams, but it's going to take time. But I think the NIL is going to be a huge part of it too.
I mean, currently as it stands, I would say Nebraska's probably in the best position for having the best NIL program.
Oh yeah.
From what well, I guess I don't know if I'm allowed to divulge certain information, so maybe I won't. Inside
What?
information from Open Doors.
We'll be right back. And we're back. We had a little mishap
Just to
here.
make sure, yeah, legality.
So Ohio
purposes.
State apparently is big in Open Doors.
But that's
so
nothing,
is Connecticut. Connecticut's a big
crazy.
one too.
For what? Open Doors?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen them on Twitter come out. I mean,
yeah,
Open Doors is a great. They're gonna make bank, and
yeah,
and it's homemade, so you can't go wrong. But yeah, I mean, it's exciting because a lot of these guys are gonna be making a decent amount of money, and they're gonna have money that they didn't even know they could have made. Like you said, they couldn't have even dreamed of having.
Yeah, they didn't go into this sport when they were 14 in high school with aspirations of playing college football, thinking that they were going to make $250,000 at their time at a university. Like that never even.
And I think this whole NIL makes the playing field more level.
In a way, I mean, it definitely brings out other aspects of recruiting that would have been skipped over otherwise, or like give the smaller schools. Granted, I mean, it's still gonna give the big market schools.
But I think Nebraska's a big market school in that respect.
Right, but I think we're kind of like not necessarily a unicorn in that aspect, but like what is Alabama like? This it's not like this
Alabama
brings us up to Alabama.
Alabama has to deal with Auburn.
Right.
What other Division I school does Nebraska have to go up against in its state? Yeah. Nobody.
Yeah, but they
have to deal with Kansas, K-State, Missouri, Iowa State. But like I'm telling you right now, with the facilities that they are building and the NIL and Trev Alberts being there to ride to guide the ship, Scott Frost, Will Bolt, Fred Hoiberg. If we can keep these pieces together, Nebraska could make another run and make it permanent to where it's like we're not the laughing stock anymore. We're not the little brother that you can beat up on anymore.
Yeah, that's just the point where I was just on the phone with my mom and we were talking about this NIL thing, and she's like, I just don't think that Nebraska's ever going to get to the point like that they used to be. It's like, well, yeah, no shit. I mean, no school will ever get to like that level. I mean, besides
it'll be surprising.
Besides like 3 schools. I mean, what the main goal of a restructuring is just to not be a laughing stock.
Yeah.
Go to a bowl game.
Yeah, and we haven't been able to do that in 6 years.
Right. So I don't think anyone's a realistic Husker fan is looking at the future and being like, oh, we got to be competing for a national championship every other year.
No,
in this day and age, there's just way too.
It's way too competitive.
Talent. Yeah,
it's way too competitive.
It's so different. So that level of
it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's just not gonna happen.
It's gonna be interesting when when Nick Saban leaves, how that's gonna that whole thing will shake out.
Right.
Because he's what runs that program.
Correct.
So, I mean,
which is what we were talking about with this whole Trev Alberts thing, Yanni and I, is like, that's kind of the only way an AD can fuck up is if they, mess up, if they bring in a new hire and they're just crap.
They're just awful.
They're just terrible. Like, that's kind of like the main reason, that and then fundraising. Those are pretty much their two highest, like, points that they just need to execute.
And making sure that the boosters are happy.
Sure. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I don't know any really big boosters, but from what I understand, that's a tough group.
Really? You're not friends with any millionaires or?
No, I wish.
Oh, okay.
And getting back to Trev Alberts again, we'll get to more stuff here. I promise, guys.
Yeah.
The selection committee was interesting to listen to. They had Sue, they had Austin Allen, they had people from all over. doing the criteria of what they were looking for the next AD, which, by the way, Sue really hasn't done much with the university since Bo got canned.
Not much, dude. Whatever
No.
happened to Sioux Town? Or
Oh
whatever they're
yeah,
supposed to build.
his whole
Yeah,
development
they
building
were gonna
thing.
have like a whole Nike Town Sioux.
Well, I think that was at the point where Nike was trying to make a deal with Nebraska because I think
I
Adidas was
wish.
up.
I
No,
wish.
I don't mind Adidas. I think they're making, especially
Yeah,
since they have Mahomes now, and
true. Yeah.
for Adidas we can get his shoes. So
No, I mean there isn't really. Nike might have some competitive advantage, or like just a slight advantage, but Adidas is so strong
they're making a
shoes
push now in
and
that
everything.
market for
Like
sure.
it's just it's pretty level, and that's kind of what matters now. With I mean I don't
With
know
the
how it would
NIL,
matter with NIL, but I think it definitely plays a factor.
yeah. I mean, you're
So
not gonna. I mean, the schools are still gonna say you can't have social media, you can't have differing brands than us,
right,
which makes sense.
yeah, there is like a exclusion there. So
Yeah, but I'm excited.
yes, there's a
Um,
lot. Sky is the limit right now.
sky's the limit right now, and I'm seeing a lot of positive things, like recruiting wise. We're getting guys that look like Big Ten players. Um, we're 44 days until kickoff in
Crazy.
week 0.
Week 0. Can
It's
you
gonna be
feel it?
awesome. Can you feel it
That's pretty soon. When does preseason start?
for NFL?
Right. Yeah.
Well, they're doing what? They're doing 3 preseason games.
Okay. So that would put us at maybe like mid-August or something, or
Late
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 August. Let me
early
look. We can.
no, middle of August. If it's 3 games, 2 games, it would be at the end of August.
Let us see. Whoa.
What?
Whoa. Does preseason start for some? Okay, so week 1, there's only one game of week 1 of the preseason. It's Cowboys Steelers, August 5th.
Yeah,
That's
that's like
like
the
2 weeks, 3
yeah.
weeks. Holy shit.
Oh, um, Hard Knocks is gonna be on
Oh
Dallas,
yeah.
which should be pretty awesome, hilarious.
I'm a
But
Dak fan, so I'm rooting for him.
yeah,
I
I
think
think he's gonna have a good
I think
year.
everybody is. Right?
Yeah,
In
he's
a way.
gonna he'll have a good season. I have a
I hope so.
feeling.
Yeah.
I just hope the Bucks lose every game that they play, but that's
That'd
probably not gonna
be
happen.
ideal.
Um, do we want to talk more Huskers, or I mean,
um, because we thought maybe breaking down the schedule, but we can do that once
let's do
we
that when
get.
it gets closer.
Yeah, we're a little premature
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now. We're jumping the gun a little bit,
yeah,
but
absolutely.
um,
Um, NFL. Let's get into the NFL. There's a lot that's happened.
there's so much that I mean,
Well,
where do you start?
we'll hit on Chiefs news first.
Okay, that's kind of your forte. I don't really. You've been keeping me
Chiefs
updated a little
signed
bit.
Orlando Brown in the offseason, signed Tooney, signed the starting center from the Rams. And they also signed Kyle Long, who was retired, played for the
Okay,
Bears for the longest time. He
so
actually hurt his knee. They're thinking he might be ready for week 1, but that offensive line is what they really worried about, and
yeah,
that's the part that they really helped.
okay. How
Um,
big of a restructuring do you think
oh,
that they did?
the whole other side is different.
Really?
There's maybe 1 or 2 offensive linemen that
Stayed.
have even played for the Chiefs. I mean, Tardif, the
Right.
doctor's going to be back.
Yep.
He'll play. I mean, he's probably going to be a backup, but there's a chance that he could play guard,
Mm-hmm.
left guard. But I mean, Mahomes is gonna be sitting well right now.
Who did? This is very off topic. Who did
What?
Farniak go to? The Eagles.
No, Jack Stoll went to the Eagles.
Who did?
DiCaprio Boodle signed a deal
Is he with the Chiefs? Okay, cool. We have some Huskers.
Finally got a Husker that I can fucking root for.
Yeah.
Let
me see.
Brennan Hymus got drafted by the Chargers. He might see some time, which is really interesting there. I don't know where funny. Oh yeah, that's right. He did get drafted by the Cowboys.
The Cowboys,
so we might see him.
Got a call. He got a call from Jerry Jones.
And he said something about, oh yeah, them boys back in the
up
90s.
In South Dakota. Yeah.
No, he didn't even say anything about South Dakota. He said Nebraska because he played at Nebraska. You dummy.
I thought he said something about asking him where he was from. South Dakota.
Well, yeah, but then he was like, he went into a whole rant about how Nebraska used to have the biggest, baddest dogs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. No,
yeah,
I think you're right.
So that was kind of cool.
True. The pipeline.
Hopefully we can get it going again.
Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell hated playing for Andy Reid.
Really?
Yeah, he came out and said that I will retire before I ever play for Andy Reid again. So which he's a fucking prima donna, and he really didn't help us last year anyway. So go fuck yourself.
Much, but
not much.
I think it was definitely a good thing to have him on the roster. He was a good support running back when Clyde Edwards-Helaire out.
Whatever.
He was a good support because who was their other backup?
Darrell Williams, who got more touches.
Yeah. I don't know.
Bell's a prima donna. Him and AB, they're meant for each other.
Yeah, he'll probably go to the Bucks.
Whatever. Everybody from the Bucks team pretty much got signed. They're waiting on Chris Godwin to get a deal, which they'll probably get done. They'll be the first Super Bowl team in the Super Bowl era to have their entire roster from last year's team back. So that's kind of impressive.
Yeah.
Frank Clark might be facing felony charges for having an Uzi in his Lambo.
I hate when that happens.
And then he played it off. He goes, "That's my security guard's Uzi." Why does your security guard have a fucking Uzi? Like, really?
It's a choice. I don't know.
Chiefs signed also got Jaron Reed, who played with Frank Clark at the Seahawks. Matthew Stafford got moved.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff. Well, they made a trade. The Rams and Lions made a trade for, I think, like a first and Jared Goff. For Matt Stafford. So the Rams look pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that what else really happened. Trevor Lawrence got drafted
NFC
number
West
1.
Is gonna be strong still.
What?
But the NFC West?
NFC West with Seahawks, Cardinals,
right. Yeah,
Rams.
It's just gonna be even more competitive this year.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting.
We'll have to make some way too early predictions once it gets closer to the season starting, just about what we think, what we're looking out for.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Frank Clark getting caught with an Uzi. When I saw that, I'm like,
all time.
Oh, like, seriously, how do you even play that off? And that's a 3-year felony charge. He could get prison time.
Does he have his hearing? Is he sentenced, or what's the deal?
I think he's got a hearing.
Damn, dude. So he's probably just beaten. I mean, if you're in a Lambo, like,
why are you? That's why you don't go to Los Angeles. God,
is that why?
Just don't.
Yeah.
Just don't have an Uzi. Why do you need an Uzi? What's the point?
Dude, protection.
You're an NFL superstar. What the fuck are you doing? What? No.
I don't know.
No. If you're an NFL superstar, you're nowhere near where you're in gang violence. There's no reason for you to be anywhere near.
Tell that to Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez.
Gone forever. All right. What else did you want to touch on?
Bryson DeChambeau douche.
Oh, we
Hate
want
that
to talk some
guy.
golf. Okay.
Hate that guy. He's a prick. He was pretty good though in the match though. I mean, he's
Okay.
kind of
I
dry
won't be able to
humor.
touch on that too much. I didn't
From what
watch
I
or
read
see
and
too much of it.
saw, he was all right.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he was a little awkward, which honestly, I'm sure playing in that match right now for him might not have been the easiest thing to do. It kind of seems like he's going through a decent amount because that week, literally days
well, he
before this
lost his
match,
caddy.
his caddy and him separated,
Is
which
that
would I
normal?
I mean, it happens. I think from what I've heard, they've done it in the past, which I don't think that many people have highlighted, where we'll take a hiatus. For what reason? I don't know if it's bad blood or what, but from what I heard, it just sounded short term, and then they'll reunite at some point. I don't know. I really don't know.
Brooks
I mean,
better start winning some things because he's really letting me down.
how is he doing at the Open Championship?
I don't know. That's going on right now. Golf expert.
Actually, I think they're already done for the day. They teed off at like 1:30 this morning.
Yeah, because they're in England, right? Or
Scotland.
Scotland. Because it is the Open. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that's in Scotland.
Well, it's kind of like a controversy whether or not it's called if people call it the British Open
Well, yeah, that's
with
what it used to
Brexit
be
and everything.
called.
Well, people still call it that. I always just call it the Open Championship. Yeah, it doesn't say what country. It says it's in Sandwich, Kent.
It's in Scotland.
I believe so.
It's in Scotland.
As we speak, Louis Oosthuizen has a one-stroke lead over Jordan Spieth. Let me look at your boy Keepka. He's one under. All right, let's look at
DeChambeau.
Bryson. He is one over. So as it stands, he is beating Bryson by 2.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
But they're still quite a ways off the lead.
Fuck DeChambeau. I don't care. I don't hate.
All
I
right.
dislike him.
Yeah.
I dislike him.
I'm going for Guido Migliozzi this week. That's my pick.
What's your pick?
I have him on my fantasy team this weekend. So, and his name's super cool. Sounds like a fantasy fuckboy. So that's cool. Did you see that? He did good at the US Open. And so Big Cat tweeted a video of him like making a pun. He's like, fantasy fuckboys.
Oh,
But
yeah.
true though. Migliozzi is a very
Migliozzi.
Guido too. Guido Migliozzi.
For
That's
sure.
his first name. So yeah, dude, we got that going on.
NBA Finals tied 2-2.
Watching out for that. Yeah, series is tied up.
We are a Suns podcast because I like Devin Booker and I think CP3 needs a freaking ring. That man is amazing.
Yeah, no, I have no contest.
I mean, this is like this isn't really. I really don't care about the NBA, so I could care less.
Yeah, I haven't really been paying too much attention, but
nope.
I've been seeing what it's at and what the score is, but that's about it. It's cool though that it's tied 2-2.
It's cool because it's two smaller market. I mean, Phoenix isn't really a small market, but Milwaukee definitely is.
Milwaukee definitely is. I don't even know the last time.
The last time they were in the finals was when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was Aldo Cinder.
Was what?
Did you know that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wasn't always Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Luau Cinder.
Luau Cinder?
Yeah.
Did not know this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Teaching you today, son.
Wow, I thought they were two different players.
You today, son.
I'm just kidding. I never even heard of Luau Cinder.
Yeah. That was his name before he changed it to
I'm glad he changed it. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is kind of legendary name.
Yeah, it is. It is very legendary name.
Kareem. But yeah, no, Suns definitely.
But
I think they'll take it home.
So
So Euro League, Euro Cup.
We don't talk soccer here. I'm sorry.
No, I'm good. I'm pass.
We're getting closer. Next episode probably gonna be
Couple weeks,
couple of weeks.
probably until
Football.
football starts, and then hopefully
Once fall camp comes running around for the good old Skurs, we will be full steam ahead. Nate might be back, so we might have a triple threat.
That would be electric.
I know.
And there also might be another third spot, but we'll see. We'll let you work that one out. Dude, your brother-in-law, bro. Your brother-in-law. We don't need to get into that. That's
Yeah, we really don't need to get into
we would if we had that argument right now, I think we would literally break people's brain cells. So we'll just leave that one. We'll just leave that one off there. But yeah, I mean, that'd be electric. So
all right, guys, that's gonna be an episode.
Good to be back.
Good to be back in the studio.
Studio.
You guys can follow me at Egghead 2123 on Instagram, Egghead21 and Twitter. Go follow the Facebook.
How much money do you think we can pool together? Should we sponsor a Husker football athlete?
We're not
Grid Iron Guyz sponsored athlete.
No, because I don't have the money for that.
Maybe they would take like a couple G's, so we could do that together.
No, we can't. That
2
has
G's?
to be on a consistent basis.
Just
dummy.
a one-time payment.
Who's gonna take a one-time deal? Nobody.
Just for us to use their name continuously, or to have them promote us like on like a weekly basis. Just retweet the episodes. Dude,
you talk to Yanni and see how realistic that is.
I mean, we could do it, but
you tell me how realistic it is, and then we might be able to make it happen.
I mean, it is realistic, but I don't want to. I mean, we'll see how much the cost is. It's less than you think. It's less than you think.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Hey, like I said, sky's the limit right now.
Yeah, sky's the limit. And go follow Iron Guyz, Grid Iron Guyz on Twitter as well. Dayton, where can the good people follow you?
Follow me on Twitter. I forget my Twitter handle. I think I changed it. I think it's Dayton_shoe.
Yeah.
And Twitter. So check it out. Where's your Grid Iron Guyz hat?
I got my hair looking all good, so I wasn't gonna. Oh,
feel okay. I respect that. That's a good point.
We got to get more hats. We got to get more merch.
I only ordered
We gotta get more views and listens and downloads.
You know how you do
that? On that first.
You know how you do that?
Promoting.
From an athlete.
I know how to do that. TikTok, baby.
Oh God. Okay.
TikTok.
You gonna chop up the clips and put them on TikTok? That's one way too.
That's what I've been doing for the other.
All right, follow the TikTok page.
Pods. Yeah, that's what I've been doing for the other pods.
Do you have a page set up for Grid Iron Guyz?
Yep.
All right. Follow the TikTok.
Yep. Follow the TikTok.
All right.
And on that note,
go.
Good night, folks.
Good night, everybody.